Hey Swishers, welcome to an all-new episode of your Daily Swish. Man, what a mind-blowing weekend over the Final Four. How many of y'all expected it to be a PAC12 showdown? Nobody expected it to be a PAC12 showdown between Arizona and Stanford. I know I sure didn't. My bracket, let me tell you, my bracket had it going to be UConn versus Stanford. That showdown. That would have been the ultimate showdown. But instead, we got an even better ultimate showdown, didn't we? I'm not saying that UConn and Stanford wouldn't have been any different, but let's just face it. Arizona was the underdog the whole entire time. They were under the radar the whole entire time. Everybody, except for Arizona, said, where did they come from? Who are they? Right? So, with that being said, be sure to check out my highlight videos from Friday and from Sunday because, like I said, I was there. I was there for the whole entire time. And to be honest, I was not happy with my UConn team, but I'm going to go into discussion about that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and start off with Stanford versus South Carolina. Okay, that game was a pretty tight game. That was the first game of Friday night, and that was a pretty tight game, going all the way down to Aaliyah Boston's shot at the last second and it not going in. Had it gone in, maybe we could have had a different story, right? Maybe it would have been South Carolina versus Arizona. It's not like we haven't had underdog teams go all the way to the title championship before. Who remembers, and I'm just going to throw it out there, who remembers the time when Mississippi State at the last second threw up that shot and defeated UConn at the last second? We had underdog teams at that time as well because South Carolina was just now starting to mark their territory, not really mark their territory, but make their name known, right? That was the start of almost the South Carolina reign, right? So we had South Carolina versus Mississippi State, teams that nobody expected to go all the way to the title championship game. We could have had that again this year because that game between Stanford and South Carolina was pretty tight. Right? It was a good, excellent game. Defense was amazing for South Carolina. Of course, we've always known that throughout the whole entire regular season and through the NCAA tournament that South Carolina has a tough defense. They've always been known to have the number one defense in the country. And it's no surprise that they kept up the pace with Stanford. Now, on Stanford's end, okay, we did have Kiana Williams. Okay, Kiana Williams was able to drive it through and get that momentum going the way it needed to be in the end. It got a little scary, but she was able to hit her threes, okay, and she was able to drive in the ball or pass it back out, pass it around to her teammates, and get that ball where it needed to go. And it wasn't just Kiana Williams. It was her and her teammates. They played a tough offense for South Carolina and pulled off that win. Now, let's go ahead. I don't even know if I should talk about it, right? Because I am a UConn girl. Look at that. Just saying. Just throwing that up there. Okay? I am a UConn girl, but I was highly disappointed with UConn. Highly disappointed. I feel, and this is just my opinion, I feel that UConn could have played better defense. UConn could have put a stop to Arizona, okay, but they didn't, and because of that, they lost. I feel like it was bad on Gino's part because he, in my opinion, from what I saw, he did not change up his defense at all, okay, and I did not see any tough presses. I didn't see any tough man-to-man at any point, which I feel like he should have done. And from the looks of it, from my view, he played it safe. thinking that his team was be able to step it up and close in on them. But that didn't happen. Okay? That did not happen because Aari McDonald was able to drive through every single time. And what was one of the things that I said? What was one of the things that I said in the previews? Okay? I said that she is a lefty. You have to make her go right. There were times that they did make her go right, but it wasn't enough. And when they did make her go right, she would freak out. But you know what? She's a tough dog. I got to give her props. Because if it wasn't for her, Arizona wouldn't have been able to run through UConn the way that they did. And this was not the UConn team that I'm used to seeing. There was no motivation. There was no fire up. I don't know what team that was. And comment below if you disagree with me. But UConn was not UConn. And I feel like that was their loss. And they didn't play up to their standards. They didn't play to the way that they know how. So that's just my opinion. So moving on to the championship game. And I'm just, when Arizona won against UConn, yes, I was sad. But at the same time, it's fun to see an underdog team go all the way to the title championship. This isn't the first time UConn has done what it's done before. And for the last 5 years, I don't know what it is. They just can't seem to get to that title championship game or actually win it. And I'm just saying they owe me a championship shirt. It's overdue. So let's go ahead and talk about the championship game between Stanford and Arizona. Man, that game was tight towards the end. And Arizona, give them props, man, because they put up a tight defense against Stanford, and they weren't going to let Stanford have it easy. Just because they're the underdog team doesn't mean that they're just easy to beat, right? It's all about who wants it most. So in the end, it was actually Stanford that won by 1 point. Okay, does that give Stanford an excuse? I mean, there's probably some discussions that they could have adjusted some things here and there to make it maybe a 10-point lead or a blowout. But Aari McDonald, man, that girl ain't scared of nothing. She is phenomenal. And she is going to go into the WNBA draft. I'll let you guys know in the next video, and I'll give you guys a preview of the draft. Remember, that's on April 15th on ESPN. And so I'm excited to see that. So either way, it was a fun-filled, packed weekend. What did you think of the games on Friday night and the game on Sunday? Did you think that Arizona put up a good fight against Stanford? I believe so. But congratulations to Stanford for winning the Final Four championship title. Hopefully next year UConn will be right up there with them again. We will have Paige Weckers again. We will have Odada. We will have Williams again. So hopefully they can regroup and figure out what they need to do as a team to get that championship back. Because I know they can do it. And I know that they have all the skills in the world. And they have, the best girls in the nation. Okay, so hopefully they can get it back together. Hopefully maybe next year we'll see a UConn-Stanford showdown. Who knows? NCAA tournament time is unpredictable. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that this is the last video about NCAA women's college basketball because we're done with tournament time, right? So let's go ahead and switch it over to the WNBA. Next video, I'm going to go into previews about who's going where, what predictions are being made about who's going to what team, number 1 draft pick. They're already talking about Collier from Texas possibly going to the number 1 draft pick, Dallas Wings. And so I'll go into further discussion next video. So, comment below what you thought about this weekend. Like I said, go ahead and find my Facebook group page where I keep you guys updated with news, random things in the WNBA, random things in the NCAA, news, highlights, whatever, you name it. Anything and all things women college basketball, WNBA. Get to my Facebook group page, WNBA Daily Swish. Tell your friends, subscribe to my channel, spread the word, because like I said, if it ain't hot, it ain't a swish.